Sit. Down. Lay right. Yes, Princey. Good boy, Princey. Good boy. Up. Princey, up. Yes. Princey. God, I'm so messy sometimes. Here. Princey. Princey. Turn right. Yes. Good boy. Princey. Turn left. Sabar. Yes. Princey. Yes. Yes. Sit. Down. Lay left. Yes. Sabar. Yeah, Princey. Good boy, Princey. You're a good boy. All right. Hello, dog lovers and YouTube dwellers. Welcome to my video, guys. Tal. Guys, today's topic that I'd like to very briefly discuss, Heel Boy, is how many meals should you be giving to your bully kutta puppy, for that matter even adults, at a later stage. Well, before I start the discussion, I just want to, you guys know it, but I just want to tell this again. Tal is guys, whatever I discuss on my channel or show on my channel are my specific experiences and my specific opinions, and these need to be taken with a pinch of salt, guys. These are my views, and my experience, my views, and my directions are my own. They may not necessarily represent anything by and large, but then this gives you an honest opportunity to to look at things with a different perspective, to have another perspective aid you, whether it's your interest or it's whether you want to go for a dog or whatever, another dog, you want to, if you're a first time owner or you're an experienced owner, whatever, these are my experiences, and this will help you take certain informed decisions. And these may not necessarily be a representative of an entire breed or a type of dog or anything by and large, in its entirety. This is my view, my experiences, which I put out on my channel and make my videos out of it, and it's my content, So, with that being said, let's start. Princey, heel. So, the first thing is, before we understand how many meals we need to give from a puppy to, let's say, an adult, first and foremost, we need to understand two states. Dos. Anabolic and catabolic. So, heel, la. So what is an anabolic and catabolic state? Quite simply put, anabolic means building up, catabolic means tearing down. That's it. So in an anabolic state, a body adds muscle, fat, and grows. In a catabolic state, a body does the reverse. It sort of cannibalizes in a sense its own fat reserves. It also starts eating its own muscle because of lack of nutrition or lack of food, So this is the thing. And so this is the basic difference, it's of course there's a lot more to it, but fundamentally this is what it means: anabolic and catabolic. That's why when you talk about steroids, we talk about anabolic steroids, right? Anabolic means steroids that build your body up. That's why they call it anabolic steroid. All right. So Now that we know what these two different states mean, let's put it in context of our dog over here. So basically, when a puppy is in the growth stage, right, a puppy needs to always be in an anabolic state. This is very important for that puppy to reach its growth potential. It's whatever potential it is that it grows to. This is a very important aspect. So in order for you to keep your pup in its growth phase, right, it's in anabolic state, the way you space your meals out is critical. So when a pup is, let's say, between 2 to 4 months, I'd say around 5 meals a day properly spaced out is optimal. This growth phase, that the spacing out of meals. All right, so now we know how many meals to give. Let's say from 2 to 4 months. How much should you give? Basically, when you need to, this is where weighing your puppy is so critical. You need to weigh your puppy all the time, at least once a week during its puppy stage, that is. So basically, you want to give anywhere between 5 to 6% of a puppy's body weight, ideally, in its meals for the day. So 5 to 6% of food is very essential. It's very important to keep a puppy in its anabolic state. The advantages of keeping a puppy in its anabolic state is that, for one thing, the puppy would grow really well, and reach its genetic growth potential, which is very important. Then also, the growth is not going to be stepped or non-linear. The growth will be like that, like a curve going this way, and this is what optimally you want to achieve. You want a linear growth. You don't want a growth, then it gets into catabolic state, plateaus, then again spikes, again plateaus. This is not good for the long-term health of your pup or your dog. Now, as your puppy continues to grow, you want to then keep altering it. So you basically want to have your puppy always in an anabolic state. This is the critical thing, and then you want to change it, of course. So after between 2 to 4 months, 5 meals a day, probably about 2.5 hours between the meals. This is the thing. So 2.5 hours between the meals, and spread it out throughout the day. And of course, make sure there's ample water available as well, which is very important, which is separate. Now, fancy. So that's one thing. Once your puppy grows to your over 4 months, then between, say, 4th to 5th month, you would then give, say, about 4 meals a day. Again, keeping that 5 to 6% of the body weight of your pup at that particular time, and then you weigh him every week, which is very important for optimal growth. Then from 5th to 6th month, you reduce it to 3 meals. In fact, from 5 to 8 months, I would say you reduce it to 3 meals, right? And from 8th month onward, you can decide whether you wanna give 3 meals, or you can go for 2 meals a day also. That's not an issue. And then you can keep it that way. 2 meals a day, I feel, is very important till the dog is about, say, 5 years old. Very important, because that's when the dog is peaking, and then after that, what happens is the metabolism slows down. So the reason you have to give so many meals a day is because a dog is you need to keep the dog in a metabolic state, anabolic state, and that is dictated by the metabolism of the dog. How fast is the dog converting the food into energy? You know, how quickly the dog is doing that, converting the food into energy and digesting it, and then again is hungry, where the energy requirement is again there, you know, because that energy was used up for the activities and for the building up of the muscle, the joints, and the basic functions of your pup. So you want to keep that that ratio of 5 to 6% till about, say, 6 months. After 6 months, you want to reduce the ratio by 1% of its body weight, you know, for every month, right? So from 6 to 7 months, you give 4% of its body weight. 7 to 8 months, you give 3%, and say 8 to 9 months onwards, you give between 2 and 3% of its body weight in meals, till and for, you know, till about till about 18 months. Yeah. And then after 18 months, you can then see how your dog is, and by the time the metabolism would have slowed down quite a bit, and then you can then strictly give 2% of its body weight, and then after 5 years you can reduce it to, say, maybe one meal. You can say you can reduce it to maybe one meal a day, or you can still continue to give 2 meals a day. But till, you know, 5 years, 2 meals a day is extremely important, I feel. So we've established this. Now, one thing is, every dog is different. Every dog's metabolism is different. Every dog of a particular type or of that particular breed is also different, because dogs are individual, you know. Every dog is its own individual, its own unique person, so to speak. So it's your dog and you need to monitor it. So I said, for example, from 6 months onwards, you want to be reducing that ratio of 5 or 6% by 1%, right, every month. If your dog is too thin, right, if your dog has not put on enough weight, maybe you don't want to reduce it. Maybe you want to continue that 5 to 6% for another couple of months, and then do the, you know, reduction of 1% per month. Or it may be vice versa. Maybe your dog is already overweight, it's like really heavy, in which case then you would start that 1% per month reduction from 4th or 5th month onwards itself. So, you know, there is no hard and fast thing as this is what you stick to or anything. You look at the growth of your pup, you look at the weight of your pup, and then you change it, you know, you manage it, and then you make appropriate changes. This is sort of a ballpark of how you can go about it, and then you make your changes. And I do that all the time with Prince. I don't stick to formats very strictly, you know. I'm always looking at him and then making changes, because that's the way to go about it. And not just whether you're bringing up dogs or bringing up animals, basically in anything, whether you're doing engineering also, or even if you're doing medical, you know, you look at a human patient. Just because a book says something doesn't mean that is what you follow strictly. You know, you look at the patient, and every patient is different. So that's where a good doctor comes in, right? You make changes according to your diagnosis of your patient, and then that's what makes you unique and a good doctor. So it's same thing with dogs. As a pet parent, you want to be looking at these various aspects. La Princey. So you want to be looking at these various aspects, which is very important, and then making adjustments, and, you know, so on and so forth. So guys, this is what I wanted to discuss today, you know, and maybe I'll see if I'll try to make a chart of what I feel would be what do you say, would be an ideal meal split and a meal ratio, what to feed and everything. I've got other videos, you can see what I have been giving to Prince and whatnot. So you can you know, so there's a wealth of information there. But as far as spreading your meals, how many meals, this is what I feel, and this is my opinion about it, right? So thanks guys, thanks a lot for watching, and if you like the video, then please do consider subscribing. Ciao.